you are on every side of a potential transaction. What's your favorite side? What's your favorite spot in the M&A world?
That's a great question, Lane. I'm a little concerned that we essentially have launched into this, and it sounds like that basically you've never been able to hold a job, John, is what this boils down to.
You know, you're so talented. You have so many talents that you have to pick one.
So where do I land? It's a great question, and I've thought a lot about it over the years, Lane. And certainly in my world as an educator, what I often see is that, students, they want to be the money person. They want to be the investor, this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of appeal to that. I enjoy that part of it. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to come down on the entrepreneur side of the table. Yeah. I just, as we were talking before we got started, Ryan, creating something out of whole cloth. Overcoming, seemingly insurmountable obstacles. That's what actually gets my blood flowing. Is watching entrepreneurs do stuff. I mean, there's one of my all-time favorite stories. Are we allowed to tell stories?
Absolutely.
We're just kind of figuring it. So, Colonel Harlan Sanders in Kentucky, and I had the privilege actually some years ago of actually meeting his business partner, who was an attorney in Kentucky. Sanders failed at pretty much everything he did in his life. He was a railroad conductor at one point in time. I think he had a restaurant and all this kind of stuff. So, key takeaway, age has nothing to do with being an entrepreneur. Sanders, as the story has been told to me, got his first Social Security check when he was 62. And it pissed him off because he felt like the government was saying, Harlan,
it's over.
It's over. You tried. Yeah. Here we are. And he took that and took his recipe and his pressure cooker and got in his red and white station wagon and started driving around to these diners in the afternoon between lunch and dinner crowd and said, let me fry you some chicken. And if you like it, and you can pay me a nickel a piece or something.
Nickel per piece of chicken.
Per piece of chicken. And that's how he started that. And I could take the entire podcast because from his partner I learned a lot more beyond the story. But that's why I tend to just always, if I have to choose, Lane, I'm always going to go with the entrepreneur side of the table.
Well, real quick, let's define entrepreneur, because obviously you can go down the road of an entrepreneur just being, I'm a business owner, versus the route of entrepreneur means you're creating something. Because so many people will say, like in the single family world, I'm an entrepreneur. It's like, are you? You're just taking somebody else's roadmap and just instituting that roadmap. Where do you land on the definition of entrepreneur?
So that's a great question. And again, we're going to have multiple podcasts, Brian, clearly. I tend to, in my mind, have this image of entrepreneurs that create some innovation, something clever, something they've created. What I don't want to do is take away from, people that, is a franchisee an entrepreneur? Yes, there are, but the ones that land in that bucket to me are the ones that just don't simply start with this little, it's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to work with this. It's like, what can I do with this? How can I grow this? That sort of thing. Somebody asked me one time, and I've always enjoyed repeating this, what's the difference between an entrepreneur and a manager? And, you're in school, so, you see, we were talking about this earlier, about what you see from people who come from corporate America who want to be in corporate. And by the way, it's a wonderful life. Corporate warriors, corner office, that's absolutely phenomenal. They employ a whole lot of people. But the difference is managers look at the problem or opportunity through the lens of available resources. So it's, I have this factory, I have this many employees, I have the shift, I have these raw materials, therefore I can do X, and I need to be most efficient with that. Entrepreneurs look at the opportunity with the confidence that I can get those resources
to
maximize that opportunity.
Yeah.
So they are unlimited by this constraint of this is what I have to work with.
So it's a mindset.
It's a mindset,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that that's a
You have
much
two
more
people
succinct-
doing the same thing, but one has a different mindset. They can be. It's an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
One of the things I've have the mindset when it comes to corporate versus entrepreneur is, I know I'm eating poo-poo for now. And then the corporate guys, they're going to make really good money. But at the same time, they're going to have a ceiling. Now that ceiling may be an amazing lifestyle. And my floor is really not good, but I don't have a ceiling. So I'm gambling on myself that I will be able to, if everything plays out in the company that I'm building, in the processes and everything I'm going, potentially I could far surpass their ceiling. And could that be 6 months, 6 years, 6 years? I don't know. But to your point about Colonel Sanders, he started at 62, and all of a sudden, the legacy he's laid for his family.
Oh yeah.
So it's that world.